Hi there, welcome back to ADSR Massive Tutorials. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, get yourself subscribed. youtube.com/ADSR Tuts. Today we're going to recreate this Techno Chords sound. You can download that patch directly from the MassiveSynth.com website. There's a link appearing on the screen. Go ahead and download that patch if you want to. We're going to recreate it here, show you how I put this sound together. Got some stereo widening tool, kind of imaging tool on the sound as well, some channel EQ and also some bus tape delay. Turn all that off for now and let's recreate this new sound in Massive. So I'm going to start off oscillator 1, keep it as a square saw 1. So you just got this sawtooth wave, so the wavetable position is all the way to the right here. Sawtooth wave, turn on oscillator 2 and keep this as a square saw 1 with the wavetable position all the way to the right. So got another sawtooth, but let's pitch this down -5 semitones. So it's the equivalent of going +7 but actually dropping it 1 octave. So got that chord vibe happening. So oscillator 3, turn that on, keep this as a square saw and take the pitch up to +3 semitones. So that classic techno chord, keeping one of the oscillators at kind of a 0 and taking one to +7 or -5 and +3, and we've got that nice kind of techno chord. So let's move over to this filter section now, create a DAF filter in here, push the filter volume up there and bring this mix slider down to mix 2. So let's take this resonance down in this DAF filter and let's take this cutoff right down to 0. Move to this envelope, going to use an envelope to modulate the cutoff frequency. So click and drag the crosshair at envelope 1 to the first modulation box on this cutoff frequency. Click and drag up. So this envelope is now controlling the cutoff frequency of this filter. So let's set this envelope up. We can keep the attack round about there, I think. Keep the decay maybe just before halfway. Sustain down to 0 or right down. You got that kind of techno stab. One thing we can do here is actually apply a bit of velocity to the decay to just give a nice little variation on the sound. So drag this velocity macro over to the decay here, click and drag up. So if we hit a key really lightly, we just get quite a short sort of decay. If I press the key a little bit harder now, which is quite a nice sort of variation. You're playing some kind of hooks in live and stuff, or you just wanted a bit of variation on the sound. Got this velocity sensitive decay, which is quite nice. So a couple of other things to set up on the sound now. I'm going to get rid of this vibrato macro down here and use this as a sidechain control for this cutoff frequency envelope modulation that we've got going on here. So I've activated the sidechain by clicking the SC there and change this from the dash, click it once and it goes to an up arrow. So now this is a volume control for this cutoff frequency modulation. So we can rename this filter mod, and I'm also going to use a macro for the resonance, because as I was playing around with this sound I realised that high resonance value give quite a cool sort of techno chord vibe as well. So be another automation option with the sound. So apply some dimension expander here as well, just to give the sound a bit more depth, a bit more sort of space. Adds a little bit of width as well if you bring this size up. And let's add a little bit of reverb too. And a tiny amount of EQ just to boost some of those kind of higher mids. So that's the sound setup. Obviously you could tweak it to taste, you could have a higher resonance value, you could back this attack right off as well. sounds pretty cool with slower tap values. So let's get into some of the processing here. I've got this channel EQ. So you notice at the start of the video I'm playing this alongside a bass sound, so I'm kind of rolling off some of that low end there on the EQ. And I've got this isotope ozone imager on here as well. So in some of the previous tutorials, to add a bit of width, to just quickly apply a bit of stereo width to a sound, I've used this sample delay, which is great for, it's just kind of delaying one of the channels, left or right channel, and you get this really wide sound as a result. The problem with this is, as most kind of club systems are set up in mono, as soon as you convert that signal back to mono, it sounds really nice and wide. I've got this utility gain here, Logic plugin, and what this is great for is just, I have this on the master output, have this mono activated and have it muted, and then you can reference your mix in mono. So if I turn this on now, the sound, I completely lose the sound to phase, so it sounds nice and wide in the stereo environment. Mono environment, sounds horrible, it's gone, the sound's gone. So it's a problem with using that sample delay plugin or stereo widening tools in that way. What Ozone Imager and some other stereo imaging tools are great at is that you can control the frequencies, what you're applying stereo width to. So with this Ozone 5 stereo imaging tool, turn this on, turn it off. It's spreading some of those frequencies out, we're getting a nice wide sound. What I've done is band 1 up to 4, about 500 Hertz, there's zero stereo movement or stereo information in that sound now whatsoever, and then from kind of 500 to sort of just over 1K I've got a little bit of stereo, and then where the kind of crux or the main part of the sound, most of the energy is in these kind of mids and high mids, I've got quite a lot of width. You just got this kind of like percentage control for the amount of width you're applying to each of these bands. So, and this top band as well, 10K to 20K, I'm applying a lot of width to there, those frequency bands, and also this stereoize button kind of stereos, it kind of delays some of those sort of frequency bands, so it increases that sort of kind of stereo width on the sound. And the great thing about this is, because I've controlled the frequency content of what I'm applying stereo width to, when I reference this sound in mono environment now, the sound kind of, it's not the same as when we had the sample delay on and referenced it mono. It's not completely lost to phase, it still sounds strong, so we know it's going to work in a club environment. So one final thing I've got on here as well is this bus tape delay, which works well if you're automating this sound. I'll just solo this sound now and automate it with that tape delay on there. Quick filter sweeps and you get that kind of like delay on there as well. So give the sound another spin in context. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. I hope you found it useful. Any questions, please get in touch. You can of course download this patch directly from the MassiveSynth.com website. Whilst you're there, check out all the other stuff we've got on there. Loads of tutorials for Native Instruments Massive. And thanks for watching. Alright, cheers. Bye.